Uganda is, I would say, richly blessed in culture, and it has people that respect culture a lot. So when you bring in something that is looking in a way of threatening their culture, they won't take it up. That is why it is essential for nutritionists to communicate information that is contextualized to the people's culture, and that is what we always miss. We always want to bring in foreign knowledge from what these people know, pat it on them, and think that you are going to change something, and it doesn't happen.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Body and Soil podcast. And today I want you to meet one of our nutritionists at Body and Soil. His name is Oscar Akankwasa. He's also one of the team members of the NutriSafe community nutrition team that we work together with. And Oscar is only 23, but he has such a clear vision of where he wants to go. And what I love about him is his energy and his curiosity. He's always learning, he's always taking notes, working on something, and somehow he's always cheerful. His love for nutrition started when he discovered that nutrition could actually be studied and used to find solutions to some of the health challenges that he was seeing growing up around him. In this conversation, we talk about what he is seeing in the hospitals, why malnutrition is so widespread, and some of the things that have surprised him personally and shocked him in his work with mothers and children. I'm really happy for you to meet Oscar. So, welcome back to Body and Soil. Right now, I'm sitting here with Oscar, one of our nutritionists, and I have to say it's quite a funny situation because we've been looking for the perfect spot to record the podcast, and it turns out that my bedroom has the least echo of all the rooms. Welcome, Oscar.
Thank you.
And I just want to, before we even start, say thank you so much for all you do. You're so passionate about your work, and I love working with passionate people. I think that's the only people I want to work with at Body and Soul is passionate people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. But you are. You're 23.
Yes.
So that's for me very young. When I was 23, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like very lost, I would say. Mm-hmm. But you're so focused. How did you find the profession nutrition? You're still studying, so you have 2 more years to go.
Yes.
But how did you come to even find the topic of nutrition? Like, how did that happen? And tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what's your background?
Thank you so much. And I'm really glad that I'm here speaking at the podcast. And it's such an honor for me as I am with my age. A lot of people would actually think that I would be out there enjoying and, partying and doing all the stuff, the youth stuff. But it is something compelling to me that I really stay focused and make sure that I continue doing what I do, and having people like you that support me, that encourage me, that, build me up and shape me into someone that is going to be of a purpose in this world. I really appreciate that. My full names are Oscar Akankwasa, and I'm a Ugandan by birth, and I'm a nutritionist, and I'm still pursuing my studies, but I'm halfway the journey. And I was born from a family of 3, and we are all boys. So I grew up in the village with my grandmother, and life was not easy at all, but we managed to go through. Growing up from an area whereby I didn't realize it at that point, but in my region, in that region, it's called Toro sub-region in Uganda. It has one of the highest levels of stunting. And it was until I reached a certain level of studying, that was after my O-levels, and I was going for A-levels. That's when I realized, wow, there's something that is going on as a pattern, but it is less recognized by people. Why don't I go into that field and actually change something, go back and work for the people that I've grown up with, for the people that I've grown up seeing, so that we reverse this kind of situation from our place.
But did you realize that you could actually do it through nutrition?
Yes, it was through some career advice I got from one of my teachers. Mm-hmm. He actually explained what a nutritionist does and how nutrition can impact a person's body. That's when it clicked in my mind that actually I think even the levels of breastfeeding might have affected some of us, some of our friends and other people that we grew up with.
I'm going to jump to where you are right now. The last the last couple of weeks you've been working at the Mulago Hospital. Could you tell me a little bit about that? Because I know you're working in the nutrition ward, or is it maternity ward? And what are you experiencing that is somehow shocking and like challenging? What is happening there?
As you have said, I have been practicing with Mulago National Referral Hospital. That is the biggest hospital in Uganda. At the ward called Mwanamjimu Nutrition Ward. It's a ward specifically dedicated for managing children who are severely malnourished, whether stunted, whether underweight, whether they are wasted, all those kids are admitted at Mwanamjimu.
What does wasted mean?
Wasting means that the child has lost a lot of weight compared to their height. As the body undergoes this state of malnutrition, it happens to it that the body wants to utilize and get the nutrients that it's missing. So the body turns into the stored protein and removes all that protein from the muscles. So the child will end up coming thin. It's thinness, severe thinness, that is wasting. So my experience there has quite been overwhelming and shocking. It has opened my eyes to what extent, how dangerous malnutrition can be. And for me, it is something that is really shocking that people don't realize how dangerous this is. We have been receiving over 20 children every day who are being admitted into inpatient therapeutic care at Mwanamjimu. So if in a day you can get that number, it clearly shows, okay, those are the lucky ones that have been managed to be identified from the community. How about the ones that go unnoticed? So it really rings bell and shows that there's a lot going on in the community that people are not understanding, and more work has to be done in terms of strengthening the community wellness services.
From all those different aspects, so 20 people come. What is the major challenge?
The major challenge we have is ignorance among people, because most of them don't actually believe in malnutrition. A lot of mothers that come don't believe that the child can actually suffer from something that is resulting from their feeding. So they would either think that the child is bewitched because they believe in witchcraft, or maybe would believe, okay, you're hiding a certain illness that the child has and maybe you don't want to scare her or that. And actually, most of them end up abandoning the care. They either run away or they will say, me, I don't want to be admitted, because they don't believe that you're just going to feed their child and they get better. They don't believe it, because it's specifically what we do there. However much we admit children who are malnourished and have other conditions, but we give care in a way that you're giving therapeutic care on top of the medication, on top of other forms of care, for example, play therapy. That is the biggest challenge we get, that people don't understand that this actually exists. Actually, the government, and I think it is World Health Organization, it put up a program called antenatal care. Antenatal care is a program that is important, or that is needed by every woman that is pregnant and they know that they are pregnant. And it is recommended that each woman that is pregnant should be present for over 8 visits into the antenatal care. That is where a lot of these things actually can be improved. That ignorance, that lack of knowledge from people. If they attend this antenatal care, they are taught, we teach them, we sit with them, we counsel them, we tell them all the nutrients that they need in each trimester in each month and what actually goes on in the different months. Because if you don't explain to them that why they should take folate maybe the first 3 months, because that is when development of the child is actually taking place. The neurotube is closing within those first months, and usually missing them is actually one of the driving causes of the problems that we see these children presenting with neurotube defects. For example, spina bifida and the cleft lip and palate, or maybe children having anencephaly. So all those come from women missing antenatal care.
And do you think that these nutrients, I mean, a lot of them have to take supplements, right? So they get folate or folic acid and all these things. But do you think there would be a possibility to actually get it through their food?
Yes, I'm among the people that believe that food has the power to do something on the person's body before even the conventional medicine comes in. Because I know this food is what you're going to be eating every day. And if you eat it knowing what you're doing, you can get all these nutrients. I believe that it is possible.
So I know that you were also telling me, like, sometimes people go into the communities, nutritionists go into the communities, organizations pay nutritionists to go there and to give courses. I know Alfred, your colleague, also has told me about that.
Yes.
What is the challenge? Like, they're learning these things. Is it that the meal prep is missing, the practical advice is missing? What is missing for it to hit home?
Well, the biggest challenge we have in Uganda, especially in those programs that involve behavior change, is that Uganda is, I would say, richly blessed in culture. And it has people that respect culture a lot. So when you bring in something that is looking in a way of threatening their culture, they won't take it up. That is why it is essential for nutritionists to communicate information that is contextualized to the people's culture. And that is what we always miss. We always want to bring in foreign knowledge from what these people know, pat it on them, and think that we are going to change something, and it doesn't happen. So I believe if we make programs that are contextualized to the people's culture, something can change.
I believe so too. But if you look at, like, organizations that are run globally, they will want to have a simple solution. So it's more work to say, let's look for something that aims at people rearing cattle. Let's look for solutions for people that are growing maize. That's so much more complex.
Yes.
And time intensive. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why this isn't rolled out. Like, in what parts of Uganda were you doing this?
I've done one of these as I was in Soroti with some colleagues. So we made sure that we focus on the indigenous foods that they grow in Soroti and make sure that we design diets that are suited in those very foods. And actually people were accepting it and taking it up. Because with that way, you're building resilience among these people, that even if you go, these people will continue practicing what they practice. I will give you an example of one region that we are suffering with in Uganda is Karamoja region. If you consistently apply these short-term solutions, you spend more. And that is why Karamoja sub-region has failed to have a change, because we often take programs that we have sat in Kampala and designed them, then we just go and take them. Instead of knowing the type of people that we are dealing with and applying a solution, because currently there has been a hunger crisis going on in Karamoja, and still the government rushed and collected all the money to go and take what? Just that short-term relief aid and give food. But instead of thinking about something that is going to solve this long-term problem, but suited in those people's culture. So, and they are spending more, because if they do it this year, then after 2 years again, hunger breaks out, still they will spend more money. That has to change.
If we go back to the hospital, how do people see nutritionists generally in Uganda? And that's the one thing I'd like to know, like, what's their standing? Are they important? And the other thing is, what about doctors, nurses? Do they know? This is like one thing that I'm consistently hearing from people. They go to the doctor and they ask what should I eat? And the doctor says maybe some more vegetables, don't eat beans. So weird recommendations, or maybe like it's not a holistic approach.
Yes. According to what I've seen, according to the experience that I've had in hospitals, is nutritionists in the health care system are among the low tier professionals there. But when you look closely, they are supposed to be treated importantly. I think after doctors, physicians, nutritionists should be next. Nutritionists and dietitians should be next, because there's nothing they are going to treat that doesn't require nutrition, because they will give drugs. I see them, they often give malaria medication to people, and then they tell them, okay, take this with milk, but they don't know why they're supposed to take it with milk. This person doesn't know. So they will go, why are you telling me I take it with milk? Let me take it with water. But we know that milk has calcium that is going to help that malaria medication to be absorbed in the body. So it has to be some kind of collaboration, which is not there. It is not there. The doctors often look down on nutritionists, by the way, because when they look at you, they are thinking that you're supposed to be in the kitchen preparing feeds for the children. That is why when they find you, or maybe clerking a patient, or maybe writing nutritional notes and maybe doing ward rounds, they will look at you in a different way, because they believe that you're not supposed to be doing that. And that is the biggest challenge we have in Uganda.
And do you feel like the doctors don't want to learn from you because they have that feeling that you're lower than them?
Yes, that is there. Although we have some exceptions, as you know, that human beings are quite different. There are some that would want to learn, but there are those that think you're doing the basic work. That means I don't need to learn anything from you. I know everything. I've studied the body anatomy. I've studied physiology. I know how the body works. What else are you going to tell me? And those are the majority.
How does that make you feel?
Sometimes it makes you feel like maybe you chose something wrong. And I have seen some of my colleagues drop out because of after their experience in the hospital.
Wow.
And actually, most of them don't want to go back. Because actually, even food, we are not allowed to eat food for the staff of the hospital. So most of our colleagues are forced to, including myself, we are forced to eat cheaply outside, eating food that is not healthy.
But even in the hospital, is the food healthy?
In the hospital, it's not healthy again, because it's posho and beans. And the people that would actually correct that are not allowed to talk.
That's so crazy. Now, I know that you're together with Alfred, who's also working with us with NutriSafe.
Yes.
You're part of NutriSafe, who's also like your little team of Alfred, Lucky. You are working together with Body and Soul.
Yes,
That's something
yes.
amazing. You also were mentioning you worked in one specific hospital where you approached this hospital and said, we want to help advise,
Yes,
like we want to give you more strength, right? How was that? And how is your, so you went there, you're not even getting a salary or anything like that. How is it taken from the patients? Like, do they like to be consulted, or how's the whole situation?
We have partnered with this. It's more of a clinic, but it's somehow big. It's around Chambogo, but it's a good hospital. So we have worked with them. I think it's coming now to like 6 months. I would say patients are willing to get tested, to talk to a nutritionist, but they're not willing to pay, because when they value, they're not seeing the value in it, because they are used to the other system of, okay, going to a doctor, putting machines on them and things like that. We do the same, but they would say, okay, you're putting me on a weighing scale. I've seen weighing scales. You're putting me on a stadiometer. I've seen a stadiometer. Maybe what amazes them is that there is some scale called a Tanita scale that gives all the body composition. There they can stay, because there you can at least have enough to talk about. You talk about their muscle mass, you talk about their metabolic age, but most of them actually don't understand that, and for them, they want to know, okay, what should I do? And now, according to how it should be, that is not how we are supposed to work. I should not just tell you what you're supposed to do. I should actually walk through you the journey, because nutrition is not going to change tomorrow. You're going to have to walk that journey for the rest of your life. But actually, most of them don't want to enroll in such programs, long-term programs. They just want short-term responses. Okay, I'm overweight. What food should I eat? After that, they don't want to hear anything else.
That's a challenge. So how do you think we can change that?
Well, I think what can change that is supporting nutrition, is putting them at a level they're supposed to be, making sure that it is almost mandatory, the way someone has to get malaria mosquito nets as one of the mandates. It should be made mandatory that at every care point there has to be a nutritionist. In that way, the public will realize that, oh, these people, they are important, because things have changed, because nutritionists were long ago looked at as people that are dealing with malnourished children. But now the pattern is shifting. We are seeing more non-communicable diseases, and most of them are managed in hospitals. That means you need to have people that are going to manage these patients, walk with them the journey, and make sure they live a healthier life.
Oscar, if you had to, first I would like to know, what's your vision for Uganda and what's your vision for yourself?
I would first start with the vision for Uganda. I'm really happy that we have had more students actually enrolling for nutrition. To me, it shows that these young people that are coming up have started seeing that nutrition actually is something that I can take up willingly and study it and master it and, go and help. I think they have seen what is going on in the community, because long ago, when you compare the intakes, you would see that more people were actually going for those bigger medical courses, leaving out nutrition. But if you see that more students are actually enrolling every year for nutrition, it actually shows that the public is starting to appreciate the fact that nutrition is helpful to someone's body. And I believe that if we continue that way, Uganda will have more professionals that are going to manage the increasing burden of non-communicable diseases, malnutrition, and I believe that we'll have a better and healthy population with years to come. Then the vision I see for myself, I want to study nutrition, continue my journey for nutrition. I want to study and get a PhD. And I want to focus mainly on the microbiome and focusing on the molecular nutrition, how nutrition plays with genetics, because we have had actually a lot of patients that have sickle cell anemia and they end up dying without proper nutritional care. If we have professionals that know that this certain genotype of sickle cell has to feed on this amount of nutrients, on these types of nutrients, I think I would bring up at least some change in Uganda.
And Oscar, I think you're definitely going to bring up some change in Uganda. You already are every single day with your passion. For me, what makes you so special is not just the passion. It's that you have also, you look for the solutions. So you get out there, you made these amazing new game cards that we made, but you push. And I know it's not easy to study. I know the costs are high. I know it's really a struggle just to get over everything, everyday life, right?
Yes.
And you're really doing an amazing job. And I'm really happy to have you here. So keep going.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. I know you can make it, and I know you're going to go very, very far places. So I'm super happy that you're part of the Body and Soil team.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you too. There are many ways you can support grassroots movements like Body and Soil. And one of the simplest is by helping us spread the word. So if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who might find it interesting. And don't forget to follow us, give us a like. And also, we have amazing social media content on our channels. So head on over to our different channels and follow us there too. You'll also find our recipes, our garden skills on YouTube, and stories from the field on our blog. So a lot to discover. But as of now, we're taking it a step further, and we are now offering hands-on workshops from soil to plate. So you can check that out on our website, and all the links that you need, you can find in the show notes below. Thank you so much for listening and for being a part of this journey. And I'll speak to you soon and next time. Have a nice day.